Boom. We should be good now. Let me know if we're good. Let me know if we're good. Let me know if we're good. I think I fixed it. It was saying that my mic was muted. We should be good to go now. Hey man, Calvin, man, you gotta read my lips. You gotta read my lips. I think y'all are catching up. It should be audio should be coming in here in a second. Let me know. Let me know. Boom. Works. All good. Bet. What's going on, people? Like I said, man, this was just kind of impromptu. I was just it's been busy. It's been busy as springs are. Being that this is what my second year, going on to my third second year, um, running the business, actually having clients. No, third year having clients. At this point, it's this time of year is busy. It is busy, and people wanting to get on board. And then also just doing those evaluations, sending out soil tests, and just getting those new clients and everything lined up. I am about full. I am about full. So as y'all know, I also have a 9 to 5. So this is not my full time gig. So responsibilities and stuff at work on my 9 to 5 are picking up also. So life has been busy. Life has been busy, but hey man, it's a blessing. I will take it, and we're gonna keep rolling. So um, it is springtime. It is spring, and the lawns are starting to wake up. A lot of them are awake right now. I can say mine is looking good. I actually cut today. I missed we mowing Monday this week. I did not get a cut in on Monday, um, but I did get a cut in today. I was trying to beat some rain. We got a little shower, but it was just enough to wet the grass blades. Nothing even measurable. But we're supposed to get rain coming in here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we got a couple of days of a good rain that's supposed to be coming. So we need it. We got bailed out. We got a little over 3/4 of an inch last weekend on Saturday. So that was good. As y'all saw, like if you're following me on IG, if you're not, go check me out on IG. I put a lot of on the fly, like more updates of like what's going on real time on my IG stories and stuff like that. So I did show this one lawn that had some heat stress in it, or drought stress already, because we had been that dry, and then we also got a span of about 4 or 5 days where we were 80, mid 80s, and this is April around here, so lawns were not really ready for that. It kind of, and then the week prior to that, we were in like the mid to upper 70s, right? And you couple that with no rain, yeah, it was tough on those lawns, especially as they were just starting to wake up and really hadn't got their feet going yet. So it was tough. Like I had two. What I showed on IG was actually one of my clients. It was an area that's known to be a hot spot, and I'm gonna do a follow up. I'll probably show it tomorrow. They got it cut yesterday. I let them go ahead and cut it because we got that good rain, and it was already recovering. So it's amazing what rain does. When the man upstairs sends some good rain, we can have irrigation, we can run irrigation and everything else, but it ain't like the rain that falls from the sky. Man, it just does something to everything living. Having that, they've already started to recover. I had another client that was really showing some drought stress, like really bad. And it's just they don't have irrigation, and there's full sun in that area. It's up against the sidewalk, and that area typically tends to be a little compacted through that area. And hey, it had to go through it. But after that rain, it too is also recovering. That just goes to show people just because we're in early spring does not mean that you can't have drought stress. So always keep an eye on your lawn. Always keep an eye out for those changes in weather patterns and climates and things like that. That's just one of the things with taking care of lawns is you never know what cards you're going to get dealt. Usually during this period of time, like I normally don't turn my irrigation on until like June. For the past 2 years, maybe 3 years, my irrigation has not been on before June. Haven't used it. I had to turn it on, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Because with that drought, I mean, I have three spots that I call my indicator spots. They will tend to show heat stress before anything else does. There were previously 3 trees in those areas. Those trees got removed. I think there's shallow roots, and the roots in that area is shallow. I think there's still some debris left from the trees that were there that's in the soil. I've got to get in there, and one area is pretty bad, so I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna dig it out, and probably in the fall, because I can feel it when I'm actually mowing in that particular area. So I'm gonna try to address that in the fall. I may try and address the smaller part of it here coming up soon. But that's just one of the things, man. When those indicator spots popped up, I could see it, and I typically like to let my lawn stress a little bit in the spring. I don't want to put it on a water regimen right out of the winter. I want to toughen it up a little bit. I want to let it stress out. So I intentionally let it go during those times when we were going through that drought and everything else, until I actually saw it starting to leaf blades start to curl. And that's one of your key signs right there for drought stress is you'll get your leaf blades will start to curl. Those leaf blades are also turn like a hazy, dark bluish gray color. And that's one of the signs. Those are the first two signs that plant needs water. It needs water. And the step that comes after that is when it starts to wilt, and then it'll start to turn brown and go into dormancy. So those are kind of like the phases that it go through. Those are the things to look for. You typically can see those spots as you're looking out across the lawn. It's kind of harder to see it if you're standing right over top of it. But if you just scan out across your lawn and you get a kind of maybe like a knee high kind of view on it a little bit. A lot of times I can see it a little bit better if I'm a little bit lower than standing height. I can get a better look at it. But you can start to see that heat stress and or drought stress rather. And those discolorations of that darker bluish gray type color needs water. So that's one of the first tips out there. One of the things that I've been experiencing here in the lawn. So I got some water on mine, then we got some rain, and everything's gravy around here. Everything is all good. That cut today, man, the yard looks good. So I'll probably post some pictures tomorrow of it. I'll get some pictures. I wanted to get the drone out, but I actually had to go run and take care of something else, another lawn evaluation. So let's jump in the comments here real quick and see what's going on. David D. All right, let me see what we got. What's your opinion on regarding grub prevention? Insects and worms. So your grub directly treat that area. Yeah. So there is a fine line on grubs. So Worms are definitely good for the soil. Definitely. They're like nature's aerator. So get your natural aeration going on there as they tunnel and everything through the soil, and then um, a lot of the things that they help secrete throughout the soil and everything. So earthworms, good for your soil. Grubs, not terrible. What you want to make sure is that as you're digging through your lawn, if you suspect that you have a grub problem, if you find one or two grubs here or there, you don't have a grub problem. Um, if you're ever digging in your lawn or you're doing something out there and you find uh, 10 to 15 grubs in like a concentrated area, maybe a square foot or 2 square foot, you might have a bigger problem, and that might warrant treating. And the reason I say if you find one or two here or there, it's not a problem is because I find them every year. I find grubs in my lawn, especially in my flower beds. As I'm digging and I'm putting out new plants, and as I'm putting my crispy edge out there, I find grubs all the time, but they're sporadic. I'll find a couple here, one or two here, one or two there, and they're just kind of spread out. I've never put down a grub application, and I have never experienced a population of grubs that have overtaken my lawn or did it enough that it actually showed an impact. So if you've got a couple of grubs here and there, it's not worth treating, in my opinion. If you want to be all the way preventative, you can always put down a preventative. It's about that time for you to go down with your preventatives right about. Yeah, you're getting close to time to being able, depending on where you are, but in general, you're getting close to that time to put down a preventative. That's my take on it. I If I have a history of grubs, then yeah, I would go preventative. But if I have no history for it, I wouldn't go for a preventive until I have the reason to go down with it. That's kind of my approach to insects. So yeah, that not only just insects. I like to. I mean, a lot of people say, Cam, you always putting products down. You use a lot of different products, but I really only use what I think I need. Just like with the grub prevention, like things like that, I don't use them. I see people always want to be preventative. That's one that I don't do unless I have a reason to, and I've experienced it and I see it. So yeah, I appreciate that. That was a good question there. Tony Bowman, you using Hybrix again this year? I am using Hybrix on my client lawns. I think I may mix in maybe a Hybrix application. I haven't even announced or told anybody what I'm going to be running for my granular, but I will be using the lawn supply company with Ryan Noor. I will be using that fertilizer this year. That will be my granular. Well, I've been using their soluble all the way up until this point. What I've done is just their soluble. I think it's Growor and Equalizer. So the Equalizer is the 18-18-18 soluble, and I've been using the Grower. I think is a 17-0-17. I put down about 3/10 of a pound of N all this year. I've been loving it. I'm getting very comfortable with that mixture. It's real easy to apply, real easy to mix up, and I've been getting amazing results from it. Y'all see what the lawn's looking like right now. It's not pushing a lot of growth in it, but it's just healthy green and healthy growth. I will be using, I think I'm going to throw in maybe a Hybrix application before summer, potentially with the Soil Alive, because I really like that product. I really like the Soil Alive product. it works good. It's a real good product. So just before summer, maybe around that June-ish time frame, um, that may be my application where I'll go with that Higher Brick Soil Alive. So yeah, I'm trying something new for my granular this year. We'll see how it goes this year. Y'all know I like trying different stuff, but I will stick with whatever I go with for an entire season. That's kind of the way that I like to do it. I don't like to switch back and forth between different products during the season because then I don't know I don't know how it performed. I don't know what was working. So I that's what I'll be running. So this year it's mainly Lawn Supply Company and Ecologel with my Cider Grow. I'd still use the Cider Grow from Ecologel. I'll probably mix in some of their Turfplex, maybe for some summer applications. I think as it is a 2003 liquid from Ecologel. And I'll be running Hydrotane also. I'll be getting ready to get that down here soon. And Simple Lawn Solutions, I'll definitely be running their micros, micro booster, and also their soil hume. So yeah, that's basically all I'm running. Those are my products in addition to my fungicides, which will it's about time to get ready to start putting those down. Um, David D, I see y'all got an inch and a half. Yeah, man. I wish we had a got an inch and a half. We need it. We definitely we need that. Um, hopefully we'll get some good rain this weekend. It should be coming. Hopefully it'll hit us like they're planning. Um, Major Look Lawn Care. Appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I've got more coming. It seems that y'all are enjoying the monthly lawn chores. I've been getting a lot of a good and positive feedback from the monthly lawn chores. So let me know if y'all are enjoying that and if those are beneficial for you. Because it seems like I'm getting good feedback. I actually enjoy doing them. I think it's a way for me to kind of wrap up what I'm doing. So I'm giving y'all the cheat code, man. I'm giving y'all the plans. I'm giving y'all all the secret sauce. I'm giving y'all all the secret sauce. I just laid out all the products I'm using, everything. Um, but for me, like I mean, typically, like what I like about doing the monthly lawn chores, even my channel in general is not product driven. What I like to do is give you, hey, here are the practices that you need to be doing. These are the things you need to be looking out for. And then from there, you can decide what products you want to run. But I'll make my suggestions of what I'm using. Like, hey, this is what I'm using. Not saying that you've got to use it, but this is what I'm running. Um, how's the weed pressure? Times you right now, weed pressure in my lawn. I will say I had my first two dandelions in my lawn this year. I have never had dandelions. I'd have no idea where they came from. And the crazy thing is that they were in like probably the thickest part of my front yard. I have no idea. My neighbor next to me doesn't even have dandelions um, on that side, so I have no idea where those came from. In the time that I've been living in this house, I don't think I've ever seen a dandelion. But this year, I had dandelion. I had two of them. But weed pressure in my lawn is very low. I do have the saplings coming up again from the black cherry tree that my neighbor has. Those are coming up, same as last year. I'm starting to get those little saplings that have popped up. As far as weed pressure in my area, we get a lot of hairy bittercress around here. Henbit is man, hairy bittercress is everywhere. But good thing is that's easy to take care of. It's easy to knock it out. Some triclopyr or speed zone or knock that right out. No problem. So weed pressure, not crazy. I do have some triv that popped up in the front yard. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen it in my pictures. I've got some triv. I got like 3 decent sized patches of triv that have popped up. I have made an application of a combo that I'm trying out. It's not, I will say, it's not, my plan is not to kill it with that combination, but to see if it can set it back a little bit. We're gonna see what happens with it. And one thing I can say, it's been a week since I made that application, and the triv is not happy. The triv is not happy at all. And I know some people may say, "Well, it's starting to warm up." Not, I mean, we had a little warm streak, but right now it's temps have cooled back off. We're back down in the 60s. I can see the triv in everybody else's yard is thriving and looking just as happy as it wants to be. That triv that I sprayed, it is not happy. It's starting to turn yellow. It's already lime green, but it's like a fluorescent. It's like a fluorescent green right now. So in about 2 more weeks, another week and a half, 2 weeks, I'm gonna make another application on it and see what happens. I can tell you right now, it is definitely dinging it up pretty bad right now. And we'll just kind of see how it goes from there. But Hairbit Chris, and Henbit. That's mainly and Clover of course Clover. But yeah, man, not a whole lot of weed pressure, especially not in my lawn. Do I apply iron? If so, how many apps in a season? So I made a video about not applying iron. So I do not apply iron as a solo application. I will say that the Simple Lawn Solutions micro booster does have iron in it. And then also the Lawn Supply Company solubles and also the granular that I'm going to be using does have iron in it. And those iron sources are chelated iron sources, which are readily available to the plant. So I don't apply iron as a solo application. So that's kind of where I'm at, given where my pH is. My pH makes the iron that is in my soil readily available. I am on the lower end of pH. My pH is like between 6.0 and 6.1. It's been up to the high as 6.2. And I haven't done anything with it. I think a lot of my color comes from where my pH is and and how available the iron that's in my soil is to the plant. And then also on top of that, the fact that I pick good cultivars of grass seeds that are genetically dark green. So I really think that is the solution right there, is picking a cultivar of grass seed that has the genetics to be dark green, and you really don't have to do a whole lot of extra to it other than feed it and mow it and make sure it's happy. So yeah, I'm not an iron fan at all. Calvin, let's see what you sign. All right, so I'm going very tall. Currently having applying fertilizer and weed control. What can I do? I don't know. What can you do to catch a lawn up? I would say first step is knowing what they've already put down. I think that's going to be step one, is figuring out what they've already put down. If you're going to be taking it over like mid-season, so I'm pretty sure they probably already made some applications now. I would make sure you understand what they've already applied up until this point. I would also request the soil test from them, so you don't have to go pay for another one. Um, I would request that, and if they're not able to provide you with your soil test or a soil test of, and a lot of times companies won't soil test every single lawn. If they've got other lawns within that area, they'll just base all of it off of that, which um, is acceptable thing to do. But I personally like to know what's in my soil, because it can change and it can vary from one yard over to the next. So if they don't have your direct soil test, I would probably recommend you getting a soil test so you know what nutrients are already in the soil, know what pH you're working with. And then from there, you can start figuring out what fertilizers and everything that you can apply, to make sure you get your lawn on a good program. Turf has got some over at Turf Therapy on this channel. He's got the series that he did, that he just wrapped up not too long ago. That's got a lot of that information of how to get started with your first lawn program, and exactly what you're trying to do. So he kind of walks through those steps that I explained in a little bit more detail. So go check him out over there on his channel. Check out that series. I think it's like 5 videos or something like that. So yeah, go check that out. That'll be a good starting place for you. Figure out what they've put down, request that information and the soil test, and then you can kind of go from there, on knowing what you need to put down. And your soil test will make some recommendations also, and you can talk to your local extension office. So I've got content on my channel of getting started, a lot of different things. It's you'll need a program. It's not a one and done kind of put this one product down and you're good to go. You'll need a program. You'll need to make multiple applications throughout the season. Get your mowing practices together. You're probably already mowing it yourself. You've just got somebody else doing the treatments and applications for you. So yeah, man, check out the We Working team, man. We got the information you need on our channels. Check out Polo Fields Lawn Service. Check out Turf on his channel, Turf Therapy, and you can go through mine. Man, we've got the information on there for you. All right, lawn chores. I see y'all like the lawn chores. Okay, I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep those coming. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna record the May one here. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I can get a chance to do that one tomorrow. I actually got to go into the office tomorrow, so hopefully when I get off work I can get that recorded and be able to get that out. More lawn chores. Y'all like that? Yep. Okay. I like it. Oh, what's my man Jacob in the building? What's going on? Hey, man. Hey, I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Jacob. It's been a while since I seen you around, man. I know y'all busy. I know y'all busy down there. And I know I haven't done a live in a while. So appreciate you for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Um, y'all rocking and rolling down there, Jacob? How's everything looking down there? I know y'all are probably rolling down there. Let me catch up. Y'all done sent in a lot of questions. I appreciate that. I gotta catch up. Some ball spots in your backyard, overseeded. Okay, now find the old growth. Um, should you clear and reseed? That's kind of iffy. That's kind of up to you. To be honest with you, if you got bare spots, I would say get out there with the weasel. I actually got a video of like touching up bare spots. So I'd kind of clear that out. Get you a garden weasel, drop you some seed in there, and then just weasel it in. I don't know as far as how big these areas are that you're talking about, but for me, I wouldn't want to look at a bald spot. Like if it's bald or not, I would try to do something about it. So I would recommend what I just said. Just get you a garden weasel, drop some seed in there, keep it moist, and yeah, I definitely I would see that. I don't know how big these areas are. Again, like I said, you if we're not talking about big spots, I definitely any bald spot. Don't worry about it. Reseed it. If it's bald, seed it. Um, yeah. Dum, 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 dum. Have I ever dealt with grassy weeds? I have some orchard grass and what I think is poetry. Yeah, that triv one, that triv one is a tough one. Orchard grass is also a tough one. I've looked at a couple of products that I cannot remember right off the top of my head that had orchard grass on there, and I want to say I'm not even gonna do it. Um, Sandy Pants, if you could actually send me a message. I was just looking at it, and I think I know what I would recommend for you to go after with that. Um, Grassy weeds are tough, but I think orchard grass is one that can be taken care of with the product that I'm thinking. Send me a, you can either email me, Cameron at elevatedlawnscapes.com, or you can send me a message on IG and I'll get you that answer. So, yeah, I don't deal with very many grassy weeds in my lawn, and then most of my clients, I like to get them on a renovation, so we can get rid of that and take care of a lot of that. But when we do deal with some grassy weeds, we can go ahead and take care of, and there are some products that you can take care of those. But for the most part, no, I don't really treat that many grassy weeds. So just fertilizing and mowing. Boom, boom, boom. What's going on, Christopher? Uh, hey, I appreciate you for spreading that content, man. It's that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I definitely appreciate that. When it comes to spring, man, it's one of those things, man. Everybody's ready to get out there in the lawn and do stuff. So I can. It's hard for me to reach everybody. So I appreciate you for helping me spread that content out there and get the people the answers that they need. Uh, Vole problems. Mm. I've had some moles. I know moles and voles are different. What I have did is for most of mine, I've trapped them. Trapping is how I take care of most of my moles. From a vole standpoint, I've never actually had to deal with voles. So yeah, if anybody in the chat can help out with that. Trapping is basically trapping them is basically what I've always done to get rid of from a mole standpoint. Uh, should we mulch if we're not 100% weed free? Hey man, it's hard to be 100% weed free. I'll be honest, I'm not even 100% weed free. You just heard me talking about talking about weeds. I've got a couple of patches of POA also that's annual that's popped up, and one of the things is also another tip. One of the things that I do as I'm mowing, I actually keep a screwdriver, or it's kind of like more like a panel wrench tool that I keep in my pocket as I'm mowing. So as I mow and I see especially Poa annua, I pull that up before I cut the seed head. Typically, by the time I get done mowing, I've got at least a couple of plants in my pocket. So I pull weeds and pop them out as I'm mowing, especially pull annual because I don't want those seeds getting redistributed. So if you have anything with a seed head on it, you want to try to get those up out of the lawn. So bagging would be helpful, and because you don't want to redistribute those seeds back into the lawn. So if you've got weeds with seed heads, I would say yes. Can you still mulch? Yes, you can. I'm not gonna say that it's you have to go bag it just because you got some weeds. The thing is, you just need to stay up on your pre-emergence, and also you may just have to do some post-emergent weed control. And that would be the recommendation: is hey, go ahead and take care of those weeds, get them weeds up out of there, and then you don't have to worry about it. So make that a priority. Spring is for me. Spring is the time to take care of those weeds. Get them weeds taken care of, knock it out. You've heard me talking about it in a number of my most recent videos. Spring is the time that you can hit, especially in a cool season lawn. You can hit weeds hard. Like you can go ahead and punish them and get them up out of there, so you don't have to deal with them for the rest of the season. Um, so yeah, once the tree have died, am I gonna reseed? Um, I'm gonna let my KBG, and I should have some fescue in that area also. So the application that I'm making, it should my fescue should be good. So I should be good with my fescue. If it dies off, I should be able to still have a decent stand of fescue there. But if it doesn't, I'll just drop some seed in there and see whatever happens. Um, this is kind of a little bit of an experiment on the front yard with those applications. I think what I'm gonna do in the fall is I think I'm actually gonna grow me some sod in a some area. I think I'm a plant. I'm gonna grow some on some plastic or something, and come next spring, I'm gonna actually be able to see the tree if it comes back, which I'm really not doing anything to prevent it from coming back. But in the fall, I'll probably do a burn down on those areas. And then that way, if I see any triv that comes back up next fall, I'll already have sod that has grown and I've kept it all winter and everything. Once it comes back out, I'll be able to go out there and cut those areas out and drop in sod. So it'll just be a replacement for it. And I'll never, at this point in the season, I don't want to look at brown burnout spots. Like I don't want to. I just don't want to look at it like that. Um, so I probably could have killed it off earlier, and I'd probably have grass already back in there by now. But I want to try a couple of different things and see if this application that I'm gonna put down, if it's actually gonna work, and see what it does. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Um, Prince, what you got going on? I plan it here in fescue here in North Carolina. How should I prepare the lawn for the summer? I'm gonna say I got a video on that a while back in there, and I think I go through a lot of detail on that. So um, check out my playlist or check out my content on that one from spring of last year. So what I'm gonna say is preparing it for summer is making sure that you've got some nutrition in the plant. Make sure it's not starving going into the summer. You don't need to pump it full of in, but you just need to make sure it's got some nutrition. Make sure in North Carolina you're gonna need a way to water. You're gonna need a way to put some water down. Um, and if you're not gonna water at all, just understand that it may go dormant at some point during the summer. North Carolina, when it hits that July August time frame, it gets hot and dry. Been there, done that. So if you're not gonna be able to water or you don't plan to water, just understand that you may experience some dormancy when it gets that into that hot and dry period. Um, Mowing frequency, make sure you're mowing often right now. You're getting the plant as healthy as you can. The summer is what I like to call fourth quarter. When you get there, only thing you can do is help keep it alive. That's all you can do. More than likely, you're also going to have to deal with some disease pressure. So making sure you're getting your fungicides, your preventatives down, making sure you're ready for some curative, because brown patches is gonna be among you. So having your fungicides and everything ready. I think another preparation, uh, which is like an advanced technique, but I like running phosphites. I have seen a great improvement as far as disease pressure and the amount of disease pressure I've had in my lawn since I started using phosphites. And that was about 2 years ago, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago. So, uh, running phosphites, I'll start my phosphites this month, coming up in May. I wanted to get one down in April, but I just didn't get around to doing it. But I will start my phosphite rotation here in May. So that's a product that I like using, for the summertime. If you want, you can run Hydrotain, making sure that you're applying it properly. Hydrotain is another option to kind of help you hold some of that moisture in the soil. And yeah, those are some of the things that I can recommend. Main thing is your cultural practices. Make sure you're getting the lawn as healthy as you can right now. And then when the heat of the summer gets there, you may need to lay off of it. A lot of times, if it's hot and dry and under stress, don't cut it. It ain't no need. If it's not growing and it's under heat stress and drought stress and everything else, it ain't no need to get out there and cut it and put additional stress on it. Leave it alone till you get some rain and temperatures cool. You get a little break in the temperatures, and you can and it starts back growing a little bit. Then you can get out there and cut it. The worst thing you can do is add more stress to an already stressed out lawn during the summer. So it may come a period where you just don't cut it for a while. It's the best thing you can do for it. And then in the summer, when it hits you, most of the time, the best thing that you can put on that lawn is some water. That's it. Best thing typically is gonna be some water. So that's what I got for you down there in North Carolina. It's gonna be a tough one. Gonna be a tough one. Tom G, no granular iron. Yep. Unless it is a EDDHA formulated iron source. Always look at your iron source, for if you're using any granular. Any of the oxide forms are not readily available to the plant. And a lot of times you can get a cheaper iron source if you want to go with a chelated liquid. From a granular, yeah, there are better options out there than the granular iron, if that's what you're looking for. They're selling it to you on the bag, telling you it's in there, but really ain't getting the bang for your buck on that one. Morganite, no, never used it. Don't plan on using it. Next. Nah, I don't. I don't use Morganite, and I really don't have a plan to do that. Uh, okay. Calvin, yeah, I see you ready to get out there in the lawn. And it's like it's popping. Yeah. Yeah, man, Chris. Yeah, yeah, y'all getting a rare. Y'all getting a rare. I'm telling you, man, this was impromptu. Um, I just hopped in. This is how I came back from a client or a potential client, and yeah, man, this is kind of y'all are getting me in raw form today. Um, Jacob, yeah, I see y'all. Tons of poor annual. Okay, y'all having a lot of poor annual down there. It was probably y'all had a warm winter. Also, it was fairly warm, and I think it was fairly wet. Also, I think that was kind of I think those might be some contributing factors for y'all down there. Um, and I'll be honest, like I've probably had more annual this year than what I've typically had. I can attest to that. And when I say what I've had, I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot, but I've probably had more than what I previously have. Made you look long care. Hey, appreciate that for the likes. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. If you're getting some good information here, go ahead and do that. Listen to Major Look Long Care over there. I appreciate that. Um, see what else we got. First time on the live. Hey, appreciate that, Mr. M. Brown Jr. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's been a while since I've done a live. I'm gonna get around. I'm trying to get back to doing. I like doing lives. For some reason, it's just easy to do a lot of times. So I think I may end up as things get a little more busy. I just hop on a live and just come in and interact with the people. And then it's y'all can get the raw forms, get your questions answered. And I what I wanted to do was be able to have some pictures of my mo today. But yeah, man, I'll try and do a couple of more lives. At least throw one in there once a month or something like that. Um, I definitely do kind of like getting on here and doing the lives. Let me see what else we got. See what we got. All right, good question here. Should you always pre-emerge? Um, what would it take for me not to? I'm considering it right now. I was actually considering not putting down a pre-emergent this year. Um, I'm on the fence for putting down a pre-emergent next year. One of the reasons is my weed pressure has gotten so low to this point. I don't see a lot of crabgrass pressure over the past couple of years. My lawn has gotten pretty dense. Um, Not overly dense, but it's got a good thickness to it to where I don't get a lot of weeds. I don't have a lot of open soil or open space for weeds to come up. So with that being said, I am I am considering not putting down a pre-emergent next year. Like I said, I considered it this year, but I decided to go ahead and put one down. So I'm getting close. Like I want to get away from having to put down a pre-emergent. I know some people that once they've gotten their lawn to a certain point and have been able to hold it there, and their weed pressure is basically zero. They've stopped applying and they've got a nice coverage on their lawn. They've stopped putting down their pre-emergent. And of course, I mean, you run that risk in doing that. So, uh, yeah, I'm considering possibly next year will be my first year without a pre-emergent. So once the reasons I'm saying that is I've got low weed pressure right now. I haven't really had a crabgrass problem or seen many crabgrass plants in my lawn in the past 2 years probably. So yeah, I'm thinking whatever I get, I can do what I'm doing now. I can either spray me some triclopyr or speed zone and just spot spray them because that's typically all it's gonna be, or I can hand pull it like I'm doing now, and I'll be cleaned out. So you don't have to always. I think if you're trying to get your lawn to a certain point, then yes, you should. But once you get your lawn established and you've had it clean from a weed standpoint for a good period of time, I think you can. I think you can pull back on your pre-emergence. Um, do, do, SOP. I have not put down any SOP before. I've thought about it, but I have not put down any SOP. Um, and how many pounds? So, what I would do, like pounds of K, one of the things is a good general, this is a good general rule, is for you to go down with about half the amount of N with K. So if you go 4 pounds of N for the season, go 2 pounds of K for the season. It's kind of low. That's like a general rule for your K. I typically try to abide by that if I'm looking like for my K sources. So that's normally my balance that I'll go with. Usually half the amount of N is what I'll shoot for. Um, yeah, yeah, Jacob. The good old North Carolina weather. Get ready for that brown patch. Hey man, fourth quarter ain't no joke. Prefer liquids or granular? I'm turning into a liquid guy. I am definitely turning into a liquid guy. And one of the things I've been able to get a lot more combination type products down, and it's real easy for me to spray. I love my spiker now. Don't get me wrong. I can make granular applications like that, but I do like spraying my products. I can get it into the plant quicker. I can also control the amount that I'm putting down. I can dial it in a lot more with the granular or I can dial it in a lot more with liquid than I can with granular. And the thing with that is y'all know me. I like to get down into the details of stuff. So like this year, I've only put down 3/10 of a pound of N. Try putting down a tenth of a pound of N with a granular. It That's gonna be tough. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's gonna be tough. So like those spoon feeding kind of applications is what I like to do and what my lawn really needs and what it responds to. Again, given that I've got a low CEC, so I'm basically growing grass on sand. Um, I'm not able to put down those larger amounts of fertilizers and nutrients and the plant actually be able to utilize them. Because my CEC is so low, a lot of that stuff leaches out before the plant is even able to utilize those nutrients that I put down. So, smaller, more frequent applications are more beneficial for my lawn. Hence, why I like using liquids more than granular because it allows my lawn to perform better. So, That's kind of my logic, and I do like spraying. I do feel like I get better coverage and stuff also. Uh, so yeah, man. I mean, if you're talking sidewalk crack weeds, I wouldn't go with tenacity. Just go ahead and get rid of it. Go ahead and put some holy water down and take care of those sidewalk cracks. Ain't no need to play around with no tenacity in the sidewalks. You're not trying to keep anything alive. So man, go ahead and put some holy water on there, and kill that stuff for good. So you don't have to worry about it no more. I actually sprayed the cracks of mine too. I just go. I don't play around with a selective herbicide. I want something non-selective because I want to kill all of the crack weeds and grass and everything else, and I don't want to play with it trying to for it to come back. So that's my take on it. Um, the neighbor's borderline. I'm not sure. Are you talking about their property line? Sidewalk cracks. Put some holy water on it. Neighbor. I'm pretty sure you're already treating your lawn, so just continue to treat your lawn. You're gonna have a lot of weed pressure over there on your side, on that side, if they're not treating for their weeds. But you may just have to continue treating it with the proper herbicide. I see a lot of people use tenacity for their general weed control. I am not a fan of tenacity for overall cool season weed control by itself. A lot of people have asked me about this. And like, Cam, why don't you use tenacity? Because there are a lot more effective products out there than tenacity. Tenacity is great if you're doing like a bare ground seeding. That'll give you about 2 weeks of pre-emergent coverage, 2 maybe 3 weeks of pre-emergent coverage. Tenacity is good when it's mixed with other things, other herbicides to make a powerful combo. But tenacity by itself for general weed control is not a go for me. Like there are a lot more triclopyr. You just pick you up some triclopyr, cool season lawn. Triclopyr will take care of just about everything that you will encounter in a cool season lawn. Way better than tenacity. um, so I mean, triclopyr I think is very underutilized. I agree with my man Ray Ito. Since I switched over to using triclopyr more than what I did with, I used to use Speed Zone. Well, I still do. Speed Zone's my go-to, but typically I will also roll in behind that if I got to do another cleanup application, or something, like I don't kill all the weeds or whatnot on the first round, or there's another host of weeds that come up, I'll spray triclopyr. Triclopyr, it'll take out just about everything you are gonna run up against. So tenacity has been pushed and pushed and pushed, and there are more effective products out there. I'm not gonna say it doesn't work, but there are more effective products out there. Um, oh, excuse me. I'm considering using a pre-emergent in the fall, but only around the borders to try to catch a pole. Hey, that's a Gary. That's an idea. That's an idea. I mean, if you don't plan on doing a overseeding or anything, you can. I mean, you can do a full pre-emergent application across your entire lawn for the fall to help take care of that POA or try to prevent that POA. Um, but I'm pretty sure you're probably gonna try to overseed, which is probably why you're trying to limit just those areas. Yeah, I mean that's an option. John Rob, what's going on? I see you popped in here. Hey man, we just in here hanging out. You can always go back and catch some of the info that we've been dropping since we've been here. Um, Christopher, just looking at this, how long should I wait to spray fertilizer after I spray triclopyr? Those two things aren't related. Um, yeah, those two things aren't related. There's not really a wait time after that. Like so, but if you're doing it same day, I would spread my fertilizer first, and then if you were going to spray, I would spray your triclopyr afterwards. So that way you're not walking through all of your triclopyr after you've already sprayed it. Now you're walking through it again to spread your fertilizer if you're doing it the same day. Make sure you put your fertilizer down first and then spray for your weeds. Just a order of operation type of situation. But other than that, yeah, there's not really a hey, if you spray triclopyr you can't put down a fertilizer. There's no relation between those two things. Let's see what else. I like this. Y'all have got some questions, boy. Y'all got the season going. y'all got some seasons going in here, man. Or got some questions going for the season. All right. What liquid items can I mix and apply together? Any general rule? Oh yeah, jar test. Jar test. That is my answer to that. Any liquid products that you want to mix together and combine and things like that, if you've never done it before, my suggestion is doing a jar test first. A jar test is take you a glass jar, glass quart size jar, fill it up about 3/4 of the way, drop your product and everything in there. And I like to try to do it in a proportional amount. So whatever the application rate is, like for a gallon, take a quarter of that product. You got a quart, take a quarter of whatever that application rate is. Boom, drop it in there. Boom, drop your next product in there. Shake it up and make sure you take a look at it and let it settle. And see if you have any issues with it mixing together and that type of thing. So that is the general rule: is if you're going to be mixing products together that you've never mixed together before, complete a jar test and make sure you're good. So let it sit for about 15 minutes, see what it looks like. Most of the time, if the products are not compatible, as soon as you mix the second product in, you will see that it is not going to work. It usually doesn't take 15 minutes. It doesn't take it usually is almost instant, and something will gel up, something will fall out of solution, and you'll see it's obvious when things do not mix together. So yeah, that's my general rule. If you haven't done it, do a jar test. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to this. I need it. We were supposed to get some rain today, and all we got about 11 drops of rain again. Um, so I actually dropped some seed, which I don't like doing spring seeding, but a client had an area that was had some construction work done to it, and they seeded it with some cheap contractors blend, and it looked like a whole bunch of annual ryegrass was in there and everything else, clovers, everything. It looked terrible. And my client was like, "Yo, Cam, I can't look at this all summer." He was like, I need you to fix this." I was like, "All right, cool, let's get at it." So I went out there and took care of that yesterday. So I need that rain. I need that rain to come. And I was pushing to get that project done, knowing that the rain was coming. I may have another one that I got to go do tomorrow or either Friday. because something happened with that one too, and I'm gonna have to drop some seed on that one. So, uh, yeah, man, send your prayers up, man. We need that rain. Send the prayers up. um, is there a combo to get rid of Poa? Not at this time. Not at this time. There's for a cool season. Not at this time. I think I skipped a question. Jeff. Yeah, I missed that. What's your thoughts on liquid silica? Uh, I like silica. I've used it a little bit. Um, I think I plan to use it more this year as we kind of get into the summer. There are benefits to silica, and I like what I saw when I did. I made two or maybe three applications of silica previously. So yeah, I like silica. I like the benefits of using silica. Um, and yeah, I would support those type of applications. Um, what's my favorite stripe pattern? Diagonals, diagonal single doubles. That's my favorite, and that's what I always end the season with. I haven't done single doubles yet this year, so y'all know they got to be coming. They gotta be coming, and I think the lawn is gonna get a break for a little while, and I'm almost on my reset cycle for. I normally mow three different patterns in my lawn to keep from like burning anything in, and just kind of keep my patterns and stuff in rotations. I normally mow in three different ones, so it's about time for me to start back on my favorite diagonal direction, which the sun hits it the right way. I think it may be diagonal single doubles on this next go round. Yeah, buddy. So yeah, that's my favorite pattern right there. Diagonals, particularly diagonal single doubles. Any plans on using PGRs on your lawn this year? What about client lawns? I dropped my PGR Sunday. I dropped my PGR Sunday morning. My lawn is currently under regulation, and I can tell I cut last Thursday. Yeah, I cut last Thursday, and I just mowed again today. I put my PGR down on Sunday. So normally you get like 3 to 5 days before you start to see any regulation. So at this point, my PGR is down. The lawn is regulated, so probably through from now going forward, I should be able to see some reduction in my growth. So, yep, PGR is already down for me. For my clients, nah, that's not in the plan. That's not in the plan right now. Most of them are just most of them are just getting fertilizer and aeration and overseeding is kind of what I'm getting paid to do. That's kind of what the markets right now are. The clients that I'm working with are looking for. So, all right, that's what I'm doing. Hopefully, I can pick up one of these high end clients that really want to dive in, and then we'll see if I'll offer that up to them. But yeah, man, I'm under regulation at this point. Do 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 do. What's the best way to prepare for summer heat? Oh yeah, Anthony Rogers. We actually had somebody else from North Carolina that asked that exact same question. So I'm gonna just say, go back a little bit in this live, and when we done watch the replay on this, I kind of went into some detail, explaining that exact same question. Main thing is fungicides and water. and mind your mowing and cultural practices. Uh, that's the simple answer. When you start getting down, uh, drought stress, heat stress, stay off the lawn. Don't go out there trying to cut it if it's already stressed out and not growing. That's the simple answer. You can go back. I gave a more detailed explanation earlier in the live. Thinking about buying my first sprayer. Do you have any recommendations? Yeah, the Flow Zone. I recommend the Flow Zone. I've been using the Flow Zone for 3, 4 years now. Never had an issue out of them at all. Never. Um, except for when I broke the wand. I dropped the wand and I broke it. But that was on me. Other than that, never had an issue out of it. I would recommend the Flow Zone. Um, Quality product. I like the way it sprays. I like the coverage. And again, never had any issues out of it. I will say that the way that I spray, I do use, I went and bought Pete's nozzle assemblies with his nozzle buddy. So those are the nozzles that I use when I spray on my sprayer. So make sure. I mean, you don't have to go get those. You don't have to go get those, but that's the way that I'm set up, and I really like those nozzles. And I get really good coverage. Um, um, I tried to use your code for a Stripe kit. They didn't have one for my Ryobi. I thought they did. Um, I I thought Big League dropped a. I thought they came out with one for the Ryobi. Let me go check real quick. I typically don't do this when I'm live, but I was almost sure that they came out with one for the Ryobi. Um, let's go look. I'm gonna go over here and check it out and see what they've got. More type, push more, or maybe that was the Ego that they came out with that I'm thinking about. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was the Ego that I was thinking about. But the funny thing about it is you can retrofit one of them to your mower. Um, and I'm pretty sure you've maybe got like a 20 something inch Ryobi. It's just making sure you can get a bracket and be able to retrofit that bracket on there if you're willing to do uh, a little ingenuity and doing a little work to it. Um, you can get it on there because it's not that hard. You just got to find a way to be able to attach it to the mower. It will come with a set of brackets that you can be able to come with, and then you can find a way to attach those brackets to the mower. And a lot of times, if you call Big League, they've talked to a lot of people that have been able to retrofit a lot of different mowers, and they may have a recommendation for you and be able to say, hey, this is the one that we recommend that is the easiest for you to be able to retrofit it and be able to use it. So I'd either shoot them an email or give them a call, and they're pretty responsive, and they may already have a recommendation for you. And hey, it might not be listed, but I was like, yeah, like people have asked for this, and this is what we've recommended. So check them out. Go shoot them an email or give them a call, and they may have something for you. Yeah, it was the Ego one that they came out with that I was thinking about. So all right, I think we had a couple more questions that came in. Uh, your lawn looks. Your lawn looks fantastic. What type of grass type? It's a cool season. Where you buy it? So it is cool season. It is my whole yard now except for my test plot. It is turf type tall fescue mixed with Kentucky bluegrass. The majority, well, so all of my backyard is Mountain View seed top choice. So those are the cultivars from Mountain View seed. And the Kentucky bluegrass that I have mixed in there. My first year of using that was Blue Bank. And then the second one is Western Mass Turf. What's up, Brent? Yeah, we live, buddy. We are live. um, uh, yes, it's the Kentucky Bluegrass is Blue Bank. That's what I used the first year, and then I switched to the Mountain View Seed 365 SS blend of Kentucky Bluegrass. So that's what I've been using for the past 2 years for my overseeding. I appreciate that. The color is great, and I think it all stems from good seed. That's hands down where it all starts. A seed that is genetically capable of being that dark green. Where do I buy it? I get it locally here in Maryland. If you are, I don't know where you're located, but if you're located in Maryland, I would recommend Newsom Seed. Newsom Seed, they carry the 365 SS Kentucky Bluegrass blend, and they also carry the top choice. So you can reach out to them. There's one in Fulton, and then there's another one that is a little southwest somewhere in Maryland. I don't know if you're located in Maryland or not. Another place that you can order is they've got individual cultivars on Seed Superstore, and you can also look and purchase them with Winfield Pro, which it used to be Winfield Pro that I think is now Heritage PPG. Heritage PPG. You can find it up there. I think they'll market theirs as the Artemis seed. All of those are Mountain View seed cultivars. That's kind of what they call theirs, but they're Mountain View seed cultivars. So Winfield Pro, formerly Winfield Pro, look up Heritage PPG, and you should be able to see it up there. Next question. I've never used a pre-emergent. How long should I wait to use pre-emergent? You can go down with your pre-emergents the next fall. I meant the next spring. So if you aerate and seed in the fall, you can go down with your pre-emergents the following spring as you normally do. So yeah, a lot of people ask me that, kind of saying, "Hey, should I do it? Should I wait?" I mean, you can if you want, but I've done full renovations a number of times. I've overseeded numerous times, and I'll come right back around the following spring, and I will apply my pre-emergence, and I have zero issues with roots growing, with the plants maturing and hardening off and everything else. I have no issues with going down that very next spring and making sure that I control my weed pressure. That's one of the things that I think is very important, especially if you've got a new renovation, because you may be a little thin after that first year or that first winter coming out of a renovation. And you're gonna want some protection there from the crabgrass and some other weeds that you'll get with a pre-emergent. So yeah, aerate seed in the fall, turn back around, pre-emergent in the spring. You'll be fine. Boom. Andrew, I see you're asking me, am I gonna reel? That's not currently, not on a larger scale. So I am real mowing my sidewalk street strip. So I've got a manual Earthwise, was it an 18 inch, I believe? I think it's an 18 inch. So I am real mowing that little strip. That's probably 250 square feet at 1 inch tall fescue, real mowed at 1 inch. And right now it looks amazing. I'm liking it. And I'm actually cutting it every day. I'm every day that I'm able to, whether if it's raining or not, or if I just get busy. But I've been cutting it almost every day, and it looks amazing. And it also got PGR on Sunday with the rest of the yard, so that should help out with the growth because at 1 inch, if I get more than 2 days behind, I'm taking off a good bit of the grass blade. But I will make sure I try to stay on top of it. I did this a little bit last year. I didn't, I recorded content for it, but I never published any of it. And then I got busy and I just did not take care of that strip out there, and it burned up. It burned up. It got disease and everything else. So I had to replant a lot of it in the fall and get it back up to par. This year, I'm planning to try to stay on top of it. My goal is to stay on top of it. My irrigation doesn't reach that area as good. So I've got to do a good amount of substitute watering to make sure it gets watered properly. And that's kind of where I fell off the wagon at last year, is I just didn't keep up with that supplemental water, and it just wasn't getting enough. And it's very sandy and rocky out there. So it needs some extra treatment. And if I don't give it to it, it's going to die. But I would love to reel. I mean, I would love to reel mow. It just would mean that I'd have to renovate something. Um, yeah. My front yard hasn't been renovated. Y'all know I love that uniform look, and I think I'm peaking out on my front yard. I think I'm almost to the peak of what it's gonna look like. Even when I get rid of the trim spots and everything else, and just like get that filled back in, I think I'm almost to the peak of how good the front yard is gonna look, because it's still got a lot of those older cultivars in it, because I've never done a full renovation on it, and it's got a lot of that old stuff in there that's only gonna look but so good. So it'll never be completely uniform or look as good as my backyard. It just never will. It never will until I do a full renovation. If I ever do a full renovation on the front yard, I will probably real mow the front yard. If I ever do a renovation on the front, I would probably come back and be able to real mow the front. Yeah. Uh um Pendimethalin for pre. Oh, prodiamine. Prodiamine for my pre. Um I typically, one of the main reasons for that is I like to get out early. Um, the thiopure, it doesn't last as long as what I'm looking for from a coverage standpoint. And then also, if I'm going out early, I want to make sure I get some good coverage and duration out of it. Even though I still do split apps, Prodiamine is my go-to for pre. Brent, you would come in here with one of them kind of questions. uh, Trini, what's happening? What's happening? Been a minute. We're a pre-emergent stop hole annual. I've got a few since my last renovation. It will if you apply it during the fall. That's the thing. It won't do anything if you apply it in the spring. You would have to apply it the previous fall and do a fall pre-emergent, which means that I don't recommend you doing a overseed. So you got to pick one of the two. Um, I know people that have done it by applying both of those or doing both of those, doing an overseed like earlier and then coming back in and my bad, and then coming back in and doing a pre-emergent later on. The thing is that timing, the timing of a lot of the germination of the POA for the following year, it really germinates fairly early in the season. Like it's September, October time frame, October-ish time frame is germinating. You just don't see it until that following, a lot of times until that following spring or later on, depending on where you're at, later on in the fall. So that POA is the only way to kind of really start knocking it back is a fall pre-emergent, or you start looking into some ethofumicate as a possibility in the fall also. Um, you could think about doing some of that. That's another uh, potential option out there for you to go down with. Uh, let's see. Uh, Too many chemicals. Is this an application? Data is this an application that you made? Do you know what went down? Like what caused it to die? Was it evergreen and then it died off because of an application? Um, I mean, if you're taking care of that, I would think that you knew what went down. Um, Let me get some more information on that one. Uh, yeah, let me get some more information on that one before I try to give you a response on that. Uh, was it green and then you made an application and now it's dead, or do you have somebody making treatments for your lawn and now it's dead? Like what's I need some more. I need some more background on that one. Uh, had pretty good results with Jeff. Had pretty good results with poor constrictor with my overseed, but that was Fescue 2 app. Yeah, I mean, typically anything with dealing with POA, it's going to take more than one. It's going to take more than one app. Um, but I mean, that's another option right there to see if you can do it. A lot of times it just gets that poa is a beast. It's tough to deal with, especially from a post emergent standpoint. Oh, I missed a question. Triclopyr and speed zone together. Uh, I say I have done it in my lawn on some things, and I will say they were donezo. But I do agree with what Polo said. You can use Triad TZ, um, because I think that's already got the triclopyr in it. I think that's already got it in there. You could also use T Zone. T Zones are it has triclopyr in it also. Um, yeah, so those are a couple of options. If you've got both of them on hand already, if you've already got triclopyr and you've already got speed zone, you can't mix them together. Um, that's another option if you've already got both of them on hand. Uh, it and it also depends on what you're going after. Uh, like I said, Speed Zone does have 2,4-D in it. A lot of people try to limit their use of 2,4-D. I'm one of them. I don't like going down with multiple applications of 2,4-D type products. And there is a limitation on the amount of 2,4-D that you can apply throughout a season. So that's where triclopyr comes in as a good option, being that it doesn't have that 2,4-D in it. So you can, like, if you reach your limit of 2,4-D, you can also go out with your triclopyr. Triclopyr also is really good for those woody type of weeds. A lot of your wild violets and stuff like that, your little saplings, and a lot of those things right there, that triclopyr wiped them out, which is what I used on the saplings and things that I get in my lawn. A lot of those hardy, woody type of weeds that triclopyr will get in there and get after them. Just make sure you're using your surfactant with that application. So yeah, I mean you could mix it. You don't have to. Like Polo just dropped in there in the chat. So cool. Would love to get a premier. Yeah, that's one of the challenges. I'm not a fan of trying to. I'm not a fan of trying to overseed and do a pre-emergent. I'm just not. At that period of time when I'm overseeding, that's when I want to be establishing as many roots and getting that plant established as much as possible. I don't want to be applying anything that's going to hinder that from happening. Not within the first 6 to 8 weeks of me putting that seed down. I don't want to apply, I don't want to be applying a pre emergent within that window. I just don't. And then for you to turn back around and also apply another pre emergent come the springtime, I, that doesn't align with trying to get turf established, given the logic of how pre-emergents really work, depending on the ones that you're using. But most of the ones that we're using are root pruners. So at that point in time, there's some effect on the root system when you apply your pre-emergent. So imagine you just planted that grass 6 weeks ago, or not even that long, and you apply a pre-emergent to it. There's some effect on your root system. So, not gonna say it's a major detrimental effect on it, but personally, I want that root zone to be as healthy as possible while I'm trying to get it established. Hey, appreciate that, Lucas. Christopher. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. we here for the people, man. We here for the people. We try to give the most accurate information that we've got, um, and then try to provide the information that a lot of times like people may not have thought of. And it's like, maybe that's the reason why that's happening, or I never thought about it that way. So we just try to provide the best information, the best content that we can out there, and try and give y'all a little something different. Try and keep your wheels turning. That's kind of what we try to do. We're not always gonna give you the cookie cutter answer and tell you to go put this product down, put that product down. We may kind of uh, make you go think a little bit. You might have to give you. We're gonna lead you to water. We're gonna lead you to water. That's kind of how we try to approach things. But let me see what else we got. Kind of sprayer. From a sprayer standpoint, I've got the old school, what they call Strom, which is basically the flow zone. Uh, so yeah, that's it's made same company, same product, whatever. So yeah, it's similar to the flow zone. I'm actually thinking about buying a backup sprayer, and just so I'll have it in case if lo and behold my current one goes down. I don't want to be sprayerless, because if I've got applications to go make for my clients and fertilizations and stuff, I don't want to be, hey, say I'm in the middle of making an application. I at least want to be able to swap out and be able to keep that train moving, because no telling where I'll be at doing that fertilization. So yeah, that's I'll say flow zone. I think somebody asked earlier what sprayer do I recommend, and I would say flow zone. All right, so a little bit more information. It happened over time. It was all okay before. Uh, I'm just I just looked over here, Brent. You, yeah, man. You, that's funny. I would like to. I I called the one that was in the Discord. I called about it. Um, that one didn't quite work out. That one wasn't quite what I was looking for. So, but that would be nice, Brent. That would be nice. That would be a very nice backup. It happened over time. It was all good. When it rains, water seeps into that area. I mean, if it's a low spot and it's holding water, I don't think it's chemicals. If it's just a happen to be a low spot. One thing, chemicals, that I mean, when you say chemicals, are you talking a herbicide application? I don't like to call things chemicals. Like, are we talking a herbicide application? If it wasn't a particular application that went down and then it started to turn brown, I'm not gonna say that. If it was something that happened over time, it seems like there's either a drainage issue and it's holding water, or you've got a, again, drainage issue that's causing disease. If you're, I'm associating this because you're saying because of the rain. Um, and if it's holding water in those areas, I think that is more of a drainage issue that is killing off the lawn, than application. So if it happened over time, I wouldn't necessarily contribute that a to an application that was made. Typically, when if it's due area goes brown because of an application, it doesn't happen over time. It's the application gets made, and then within a matter of a week or so, you will see you will see the results of that. Sometimes it doesn't take that long. You will see the results of that application. So given that you're talking about the rain and the water being in that area, I'm thinking maybe it's a drainage issue that could then be causing uh, the some disease pressure in there. Not sure where you're located and what your temperatures and stuff are, but the lawn, like grass, doesn't grow in standing water. So if the soil is always saturated and is holding water, that's not going to be a good environment to grow grass in. All right, so I made it to the bottom of the chat. If anybody has anything else, any other questions, let me know. Drop them in the chat, and if not, we're gonna get ready to wrap this thing up. I definitely appreciate y'all for joining. It was good. It was good to get back on camera and go live again. It's been a little while since I've been live, so uh, it was good. It was good. This was a good time. I hope everybody's lawn season is getting kicked off. If you haven't, hopefully it's coming to you soon. I think most of us on the East Coast right now, we're getting things going. Midwest, I think y'all are starting to get going. Far north, I think y'all are starting to get going. Brent, I think you was out there making some applications and getting stuff going, kind of getting started. Yeah, man, I hope everybody has a good spring. Enjoy it. Enjoy the lawn chore videos. If you have not checked out the lawn chore videos, make sure you roll back and get caught up on those, because at that point, it'll get you caught up in the season of where you probably should be. So uh, I think that is all. Yeah, Gary. Yep. It needs oxygen to breathe. Yeah, if it's standing water, or that area is always soaked in water, it's not a good environment to try to grow grass in. So um, yeah, I appreciate everybody for joining, and we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap this one up. It will be a video out here coming soon. Hopefully, I can get it recorded tomorrow. And if I can get it recorded tomorrow, might have you a Sunday drop. So I hope y'all have a good one. It's been a good time. It's been a good time. So until next time, just know we working. Let's go ahead and get up out of here.